entourage of the chairman of occasion. Please rise. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is the chairman of the occasion, the president and chairman in council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, ably represented this morning by the deputy president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Agberagba, along with her entourage. We also have joining them the president and chairman of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Can we welcome each and every one of them with a round of applause? Thank you so much. Media, can we have the national anthem while we remain standing? Thank you. Thank you. We now take the opening prayer, the third stanza of the national anthem. Together we pray, O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. You may all kindly be seated. Thank you. I hope we have copies of the program given to everyone at the front row. Please give the president of Korean a copy of the program and everyone else. Engineer Ms. Stura, let's have copies of the program of event. Before we formally begin the proceedings of this meeting, I'd like to call on the media to give us the safety brief. Media, let's have the safety brief, please.
Welcome to the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The NSE complies with all applicable statutory and regulatory requirements and is keen to satisfy all our stakeholders. Our premises are secure and covered with a comprehensive CCTV monitoring system. Your safety is our priority. Before we begin today's proceedings, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with important safety information regarding this location. Emergency exits and fire safety. In the event of an emergency requiring evacuation, do note that this auditorium has 3 exits. The main entrance exit at the front of the hall, a side exit leading outside, a rear exit connecting to the main building. The exits in the auditorium are clearly marked to guide you to safety. Take a moment to identify the nearest exit to your seat. During the emergency, please remain calm and please move in an orderly manner through the nearest exit that leads outside. Once outside, proceed to the designated assembly point located at the extreme end of the car park to the rear of the building. Please remain at the assembly point until you receive confirmation that it is safe to return. Security emergency procedures. In the unlikely event of a security emergency occurring, please remain calm as the building will go into lockdown mode. During a lockdown, do not attempt to use any lifts. Instead, proceed through the nearest exit leading from the main building, where security personnel will guide you to the muster point. Please remain there until the announcement is made that it is safe to go back in. For your convenience, restrooms are located at the rear of the platform. They are clearly marked for male and female use and can be accessed via the staircases on both sides of the platform. Medical emergency procedures. Should a health emergency arise, only trained first responders will be permitted to administer CPR or first aid. For urgent medical care, vehicles are on standby to transport individuals to the NSE's retainer hospital, where medical professionals are available to provide emergency treatment. If you need to report an emergency, please call the designated emergency contact at 080
397 54848
or 080-625-57586. All guests and visitors at the Engineering Center are reminded to keep personal items like bags, wallets, and phones always secure. Do not leave your valuables unattended to. The security operatives at the center are trained and are ready to deal with any emergencies. Your cooperation in following these safety protocols ensures the well-being of everyone present. Thank you for your attention. We wish you productive and safe deliberations.
Thank you very much for that important briefing. We encourage everyone to take note of the emergency exit, and I'm sure you also took note of the emergency numbers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to recognize and acknowledge distinguished personalities who have honored this occasion with their presence. And I'll begin by recognizing none other than the chairman of the occasion, who is the president and chairman in council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masiu Rabiu, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of the American Society of Civil Engineers, fellow of the Academy of Engineering, member of the Order of the Federal Republic, and is ably represented here this morning by the Deputy President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Agberagba, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please welcome her with a round of applause. Welcome, Ma. We also have a special guest of honor present, who is the President and Chairman of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, none other than Engineer Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, he's a fellow of the Academy of Engineering, and a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers. Please a round of applause for him. We also have our guest speaker, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Engineer Dr. Marcus O. Ogumbi, FNSC. Please give him a round of applause. We also have the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Aliu Ibrahim Dutsema, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please welcome him with a round of applause. We welcome you, sir. We have our host and the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch, Engineer Ahmed A.S.Y. Kutigi, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please give him a round of applause. We also welcome and acknowledge the chairman of the planning committee for this AGM, Engineer Oliver U. Eze, FNSC. Please give him a round of applause. We also have lawyer Zifeng Wu from the Landing Professionals Nigeria Limited joining us. He's been here since 10 a.m. Please give him a round of applause. And he was wondering why we're starting by 12 noon. We're sorry about the African time. And sitting close to him, we have Chidera Ubani, Esquire, from the Landing Professionals Nigeria Limited as well. We welcome you. Thank you for being here. We have present in our midst Engineer Adole A. Frank. If you're here, please, we acknowledge you. We welcome you. We're delighted to have you. He's one of our speakers for today. We have also in our midst Engineer Mohammed Bello Kwali from the National Chairman Institute of Appraisers and cost engineers. Is he here with us? We welcome you, sir. Thank you for being here. We also have in our midst some of the past presidents, past chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Abuja branch. We have engineer Paulinus Ozioko FNSC, a past chairman of NSC Abuja branch. We also have engineer Yakubu Garba FNSC, a past vice president of Nigerian Society of Engineers and a past chairman of the NSC Abuja branch, a past member of Korean Council as well. Please give him a round of applause. We also have engineer Elizabeth Orita FNSC. She's a retired director from the Satellite Sound Development Authority. Please give her a round of applause. We welcome you, Ma. We have also present in our midst engineer Professor James Isiwu Agowa. FNSC is a senior lecturer from the Faculty of Engineering, Federal University of Technology. And I would like to also acknowledge that his birthday is today. So I'd like for everyone to tell him happy birthday. Okay, we also have in our midst the past chairman of the branch, engineer Dr. E.B. Koka, FNSC, here with us. Sir, we acknowledge you. Thank you for being here. We welcome you. We also have engineer Bako Wakili, FNSC, a retired director from the Nigerian Communications Commission, joining us. Thank you. He's been here also for quite a while. We thank you for being here. We also have Dr. Kanti Uthman, the CEO, Kanti Livers Realty Nigeria Limited. Thank you for joining us, sir. We welcome you. So we acknowledge the executive committee members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch. We welcome past presidents of the NSC. We welcome past chairman of NSC Abuja branch. We welcome national exco members of NSC. We welcome distinguished elders and fellows of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. We welcome branch and division chairman of the NSC. We welcome our eminent speakers and paper presenters. We welcome members of the NSC. We welcome friends, invited guests, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Faith. Joining my colleague here, I also want to very specially recognize the National Chairman of Nigerian Institute of Petroleum Engineers, Engineer Dr. Yetunde Aladeito, FNSC. You're most welcome, ma'am. We have in our midst also a chairman of a sister branch, Engineer Fumbi Alonge, the chairman of NSE. Okay, immediate past chairman. Once a chairman, always a chairman. So we are very happy to have you in our midst. She's the immediate past chairman of Buhari branch. We are very pleased to have you, ma. We have engineer Fatima Mohammed as well in our midst, and we really, really appreciate your presence. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we go on with the event and we keep taking the recognitions as we go on. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again on behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Abuja branch, it gives me great pleasure to very warmly welcome you, our distinguished guests, our members of the engineering profession, policymakers, technocrats, academics, industry leaders, partners, exhibitors, members of the media, and all participants to the 2026 National Engineering Conference, Exhibition, and Annual General Meeting, a gathering where expertise, innovation, and national purpose converge. The annual general meeting provides the society with an important platform to review its activities, deliberate on issues affecting the profession, and take decisions that will shape its direction and priorities for the coming year. But beyond the formal business of the AGM, today's gathering provides an even broader platform for knowledge exchange, professional networking, and strategic dialogue on an issue that touches every Nigerian: food security. Like we all know, the theme for this year's AGM is transforming agricultural value chain, technological integration in modern agriculture for national food security in Nigeria, engineering the path to zero hunger. And what better profession to be at the heart of this conversation than engineering? Today, we're not gathered merely to discuss agriculture. We are gathered to examine how engineering and technology can transform the agricultural value chain, strengthen food production, enhance productivity, and ultimately move Nigeria closer to the goal of zero hunger. Once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome. My name is Faith Oche, and I'm most delighted to be the director for today's program. If your hands are not too busy, I believe you can give me a round of applause. So thank you. Okay, we're presenting our guest speaker for today. We have Engineer Taye Samaila Tehinte. If he's here with us, we welcome you and we're delighted to have you. We also want to recognize in our midst Engineer Dr. Kolade. Am I correct? Engineer Dr. Kolade Olanishakin, FNSC. We welcome you, sir. Please, I apologize. And so moving on very quickly to formally and officially welcome us to this gathering. It is my singular honor and privilege.
Recording in progress.
It is my singular honor and privilege to call on none other than the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch, Engineer Ahmed A.S.Y. Kutigi, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I believe he deserves a better round of applause. Please keep clapping until he gets here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Oche, the President and Chairman in Council, Engineer Ali Alimasuya Rabiu, FNSC, ably represented by the Deputy President here, the President of Koren, Engineer Professor Sadiq Abubakar Zubair, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, elders and special guests, permit me to pose here on my protocol. Traditionally, the President will officially handle that. Before I go on my speech, we, Abuja branch, come to realize that a lot have been going in the modern ministries in FCT, and the best way we can be able to assist those ministries and also assist ourselves as engineers is to make sure we bring them one after the other to talk to us. So we're supposed to have the Federal Minister of Power here and agree to speak, because as it stands today, these two ministries, not that they are more important than others, but there's no nation that would develop without power and food security. So inshallah, this will continue with the next ESCO to make sure that not only in our AGMs, intermittently we'll be bringing them here to talk to us. So once again, good afternoon to all of us, and also I will also officially apologize for starting behind the scheduled time. Distinguished guests, fellow professional engineers, esteemed members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with profound sense of humility, immense pride, and distinct privilege that I stand before you today to deliver this welcome address at the 42nd and 2026 Engineering Week and Annual General Meeting of NSC Abuja branch. We gathered here at the prestigious National Engineering Center that is the NSC Headquarters Auditorium, to reflect on our collective journey, celebrate our milestones, and chart a progressive course for our noble profession and our dear nation. Today's gathering is particularly momentous as it is echoed on a theme of profound national urgency: engineering resilience, transforming agricultural value change, technological integration in modern agriculture for national food security in Nigeria, engineering the path to zero hunger. Food security is not merely an agricultural issue. It is fundamentally an engineering challenge. Across historical epoch and modern developmental milestone, nations that have conquered hunger and achieved sustainable food sovereignty have done so by embedding engineering principles into every facet of their agricultural architecture. From mechanization and irrigation to storage, processing and transportation logistics, the path to zero hunger requires the deliberate application of technological innovation and a resilient infrastructure. Today, Nigeria is with a vast land, favorable climate condition, and industrious population, possesses all the natural prerequisites to the food basket of Africa continent. So we always see it as food basket of African continent. This is true, but the agricultural component of it and engineering is very important. To thoroughly digest this overreaching theme, our 2026 Engineering Week and Annual General Meeting curated 4 vital themes to touch the core of modern agricultural engineering: infrastructure for food security, precision agriculture and smart farming, renewable energy in agro-processing, climate smart engineering. We are profoundly honored to have as our guest speaker today the Permanent Secretary of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in person of Engineer Dr. Marcus O. Ogunbi, FNIC. Yes, he informed us late yesterday night that he has been summoned by the head of service. A director will be representing him here with others. Yes, they are here. And his prayer is that he will be communicating to let us know if he can be able to join us. Thank you very much. Let me express my deepest gratitude to the Planning Committee for this year, ably headed by Engineer Oliver Yu as the FNIC, and also the AGM Planning Committee for a good job well done. As we commence this week-long intellectual discourse, robust technical sessions, and networking event, I urge all participants to engage actively, share insights, and formulate actionable communique that will not only advance our profession, but provides tangible engineering-driven solutions to the food security challenges facing Nigeria. Once again, I welcome you to the 42nd and 2026 Engineering Week of NSC Abuja branch. May our deliberations be fruitful, and may we continue to engineer the path to a prosperous food secure nation. May the Almighty Allah bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May the Almighty Allah bless the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and may the Almighty Allah bless the Nigerian Society of Engineers Abuja branch. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Can we please have a better round of applause for the chairman of Abuja branch? Thank you very much, Engineer Kutigi, for setting the tone for today's event. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, It is often said that leadership is not measured only by titles, but by vision, by commitment, and the ability to inspire excellence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor and privilege to welcome up for his opening remarks the chairman of the occasion and the president and chairman in council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is ably represented here this morning by the deputy president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Valerie Agberagba, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, for his opening remarks. I believe that she deserves a more resounding applause. Let's keep clapping until she gets here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just said good afternoon. Thank you. I know some of us have been waiting for 2 hours before this program. I also was here before 11, but those who have waited for 2 hours thought maybe the program was 10, like my dear sister, Engineer Richard. She rushed down thinking it was 10, but I looked at my invitation this morning and I knew that it was 11. But then I still came in here long before 11 o'clock. And the chairman has already apologized, but I believe Abuja branch, we are not known for this. If it's the Abuja branch that I belong to. I'm talking as Valerie now. I'll get back to talking as Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu. It's very disheartening to know that we are having our popular engineering week and Abuja branch members are not here. I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I know the public holiday must have affected it because I had to recheck, because normally we don't run programs during the public holiday. But I believe the chairman sent out reminders to people that this program was still going to hold because a lot has been put into it in the planning. And so, even though I jokingly told Engineer Garuba when I was coming, I said every Abuja branch member that came in after 11, I don't know if they wrote down their names, we are going to ask them to pay a fine because it's not in our character. But now that I know that Engineer Felix Wanko, former vice president, came in even after the program started, past chairman of the branch, he's not only going to apologize, he's going to pay a fine. I don't want to announce it publicly, I'm going to whisper it to you, right? Because Abuja branch, sincerely, we are not known to take our engineering week lightly. And so I want to apologize on behalf of the chairman again to those who have been waiting. I'm told my friend has been waiting since 10 o'clock, right? He thought the program was for 10, but thank you for being patient with us. It's not in our character to start our program 1 hour after the time scheduled to take off. So on that note, allow me to now change my cap to the cap of the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Engineer Ali Masuya Rabiu, FNSC, fellow American Society of Civil Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, MFR. He would have loved to be here personally, but he's in Lagos right now, also performing the duty of the president of the society. And because of his strong commitment to Abuja branch, I'm representing him. We've had a very hectic last week, and we came back on Friday, and still a lot of activities for the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And as you all know, most branches are running their engineering week this week because it is part of the NSC plans for the branches and divisions. So please accept his apology, and I'm going to go straight to his speech. I want to recognize the president of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, our very own Engineer A.Z. Abubakar, FNSC, fellow of Nigerian Institute of Agric Engineers, and a fellow of the Academy of Engineering. I also want to recognize past vice presidents that are here. We have Engineer Felix Owanko. We also have Engineer Garuba. And I think something has been added to your cap. Past council member Corin, right? So I recognize you now, past vice president, past chairman of Abuja branch, and past council member of Corin. We also have Engineer Bababumi Koka, my friend and brother, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. My chairman, indefatigable chairman, who has worked so hard in the past 2 years to make sure that we achieve the goals set out for Abuja branch. And there was something he said when he was making his speech, that there are issues across the sectors. And so to be able to address them, they've been picking ministry and agencies by agencies, am I right, to address issues. I know at a time we addressed the water sector. We looked at all the challenges in the water environment and we discussed it. And today we are discussing on agriculture. I want to acknowledge your presence. The Executive Secretary of NSE, thank you for following me here. I also want to recognize the Deputy Director of Media who has made sure that we are also here. And all other distinguished members that are here. I forgot my own chairman, Naipet. I thought I saw her sitting somewhere. You see, that's why I did not recognize her, because she stepped out, right? All chairmen of branches. Fumbi says she has handed over. You only handed over, was it yesterday? Or on Friday? On Friday. So if we still call you chairman of Buhari branch, still accept it for till end of August, right? So we recognize you and we congratulate you for having successfully conducted the affairs of Buhari branch for the past 2 years and successfully handing over to somebody else. And on that note, chairman, oh, I forgot a past chairman. How could I? Engineer Ozioku, my own brother and friend. He always comes out now dressed like a chief, so I don't know if he has received a chieftaincy title. Oh, he didn't whisper the name to me, that is why. So, is he Eze something now? No, it's not Igwe, is he Igwe? He has not told me it's Igwe, it's Eze, right? He's chief. He address you as chief. Okay, FCDA. You know I left FCDA a long time ago. So permit me to just be knowing that you are now a chief. I recognize you. And I recognize my own brother and friend. Sorry, before I go to the president's speech, I also recognize my brother, Engineer Wakil. We've come a long way, and that is a friend indeed. I recognize you, sir. You know, it shuttles between Maiduguri and Abuja, so I don't know when he's in Abuja or when he's in Maiduguri. And Engineer Goa, thank you so much for making it, and happy birthday to you. We wish you many more years in good health. I want to recognize everyone that has made this program this afternoon. It is because of the love you have for the engineering profession and the love you have for Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch. And so please allow me to recognize and call every one of us distinguished guests this afternoon, and go straight to the presentation or the speech of the president. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm felicitations and sincere best wishes on this very auspicious occasion of the 2026 Engineering Week and Annual General Meeting of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Abuja branch. This annual gathering is a vital platform for professional interaction, knowledge sharing, innovation, and strategic reflection on the role of engineering in national development. It offers engineers, policymakers, industry leaders, academics, and other stakeholders a space to engage on critical issues to our country's sustainable growth. To issues that are critical, to our country's sustainable growth. I commend the Executive Committee and members of NSA Abuja branch for the dedication, the foresight, and commitment to advancing engineering profession. Over the years, the branch has distinguished itself, and I'm proud to read that from the president because that's my branch. Over the years, Abuja branch has distinguished itself through the impactful programs that promote professional excellence, capacity development, interprofessional collaboration within the FCT. These efforts have strengthened the engineering community within the branch and contributed significantly to the development initiatives within the federal capital and beyond. I am particularly impressed by the rich array of activities that has been lined up for this year's Engineering Week, which began with the chairman's cocktail held yesterday. Normally, this cocktail is held here in the premises, which allows the president opportunity to interact with the Abuja branch. But I got to know late yesterday afternoon when I spoke to the chairman and said the program was being held at our office down Tatar Road. And I want to say I wasn't able to attend that because I wasn't sure when it would take off and end, because we had planned that it was going to be here and I was to attend with quite a number of people. So we apologize for not being there. So we also have the lecture that has been scheduled for today. And of course, it's going to be ending with the dinner and award night after serving for 2 years this present executive committee. This program therefore reflects careful planning and a clear understanding of contemporary development challenges and opportunities. I therefore commend the organizing committee for curating a program that is both relevant and impactful. This year's Engineering Week comes at a particularly significant moment of our country. The theme, which was almost like a sentence to me, engineering resilience, transforming agricultural value chain technology integration in modern agriculture for national food security in Nigeria, engineering the path to zero hunger, speaks directly to a fundamental national imperative, food security. And I'm happy that the President of Koren is here. Mr. President, sir, I know some time ago you made a presentation, I think it was during the Jubril, the annual Jubril, the UG Jubril lecture, and we also dealt on how we could actually bring technology to improve food production and security in Nigeria. And I'm happy that you are here today. You'll be able to at least give us also some insight, not as current president now, but as a past, I think you're a past president of NIAE, and so we'll be able to give us some insight. And if you also recall, in 2024, the Nigerian Society of Engineers also had a conference, our annual conference, on agriculture and food security. So discussing it today, for me, shows the importance Nigerian engineers have given to this sector of the economy. And I believe that our speakers will do justice to it, and then we'll be able to move forward from there. Food is fundamental to human dignity, national stability, public health, and social prosperity. A country that cannot guarantee adequate and affordable, nutritious food for its people remains vulnerable to instability. Nigeria possesses enormous agricultural potential, vast arable land, a large useful population, diverse agroecological zones, and a rich reservoir of agricultural knowledge. Yet the full potential remains constrained by challenges relating to mechanization, irrigation, storage, processing, transportation, energy, logistics, digital technology, and access to modern production systems. This is where engineering must rise to the occasion. The engineer of today must look beyond the traditional boundaries of practice and embrace the entire agricultural value chain, from production to processing, preservation to packaging, transportation to distribution, and the market access. We must deploy engineering innovation to develop appropriate mechanization technologies, smart irrigation systems, renewable energy solutions, efficient storage facilities, cold chain infrastructure, digital agricultural platforms, and modern processing systems capable of reducing post-harvest losses and increasing the value of agricultural production. We must ensure that the technologies we develop are affordable, adaptable, sustainable, and accessible to farmers, particularly smallholder farmers who form the backbone of Nigeria's agricultural economy. The journey towards zero hunger, therefore, requires more than good intentions. It demands science, technology, innovation, investment, policy consistency, and engineering excellence. The conversation taking place today during this week must therefore translate into practical ideas and implementable solutions. We must stop coming every year to talk without having proper implementation and follow-up. And so at this point, I want to charge the Abuja branch that this is a topic that is very vital to stability of the nation. And we should not just end with this talk for today. We should set up a committee that will monitor decisions and recommendations that will come out of this meeting. We must begin to lead by example. We should stop talking the talk and begin to walk the talk. And I believe every engineer is ready to walk the talk. Invitation to the 2026 International Engineering Conference. At this juncture, I want to express my profound appreciation to our distinguished speakers, experts, and participants for honoring the invitation despite the demanding schedules. Your presence is a demonstration of the commitment to knowledge sharing, professional excellence, and the advancement of engineering and industrial development in Nigeria. I would like to use this opportunity to extend a very warm and cordial invitation to every engineer seated in this hall. And I'm looking at a lot of people's faces right now, and I will know whether you have accepted this invitation. I want to invite every engineer, every professional and stakeholder here present to participate in the 2026 International Engineering Conference, an annual general meeting of the Nigerian Society of Engineers that is scheduled to hold from Monday, November 30th to Friday, December 4th, 2026 at the International Conference Center, Maiduguri, Borno State. I'm looking at everybody's face, right? This conference will be held under the theme Engineering Innovation for Enhanced Security and Sustainable National Development. It will provide an exceptional platform for engineers, policymakers, researchers, academics, development partners, industry leaders, and security experts to deliberate on engineering-driven solutions to solving our security issues and the contemporary challenges thereof. I am particularly delighted to inform this gathering that preparations for this landmark event continues to receive encouraging support at the highest level of governance. We have received tremendous support from security agencies and departments of the conference, which I'm sure most of you have been seeing in our social media platform. We have the support of the Honorable Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, who has graciously accepted to give the keynote address. We also have the acceptance of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Olatunji Rilwandisu, also to be at the conference. And we also have the commitment of the Director General of the Department of State Services, Mr. Oluwatosin Adiola Ajayi. These people have all confirmed their participation in the conference. And so this gives a lot of credence to what we are doing. The security issue in our country must be solved. And if we don't come together, we will only just keep complaining. And so I want to reiterate again, you are all cordially invited to Maiduguri. I must say that the government of Maiduguri is totally committed to this conference. And when I say totally committed, I mean totally committed. The NSC Council was held last month in Maiduguri, and it was safe. We went out, I'm sure some of you saw the videos. We went out late in the night to buy fish, right? So there's nightlife. For those of you that always like to have nightlife after all our deliberations at the conference. These confirmations underscore the national significance of the conference, and I therefore once again invite all of you to join us in Maiduguri as we bring together the finest minds in engineering and allied fields to explore how innovation, technology, and professional expertise can create a safer and more prosperous and sustainable Nigeria. I wish to once again wish us a successful, intellectual, and enriching, rewarding meeting this morning, and I pray that the deliberations from this meeting will be able to improve our food security issues in Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening. Engineer Ali Masuya Arabi, President, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you.
Can we keep clapping, please? Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma, for those insightful and strategic remarks. Thank you so much. Please be seated, everyone. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to one of the major highlights of today's program. Our guest speaker is a distinguished engineer and a public servant whose professional experience places him at the intersection of engineering, agriculture, public policy, and national development. It is therefore appropriate that we acquaint ourselves with some of his remarkable professional accomplishments before he takes the podium. On that note, I'm most privileged to invite to present the citation of our distinguished guest speaker, Engineer Fatima Abagaji, MNSC. Please welcome her with a round of applause.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. My name is Engineer Fatima Abagaji, and it is my honor to read the citation of our guest speaker, Dr. Marcus Olani Ogumbi, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers, ably represented by Engineer Tai Samaila Tehinsi. Please welcome him with a round of applause. You are representing him, so I would read it while you are. Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. He will be speaking on the theme Transforming Agricultural Value Chains, Technological Integration in Modern Agriculture for National Food Security in Nigeria. Dr. Marcus Olani Ogumbi is a seasoned and registered agricultural engineer. Who started his career in 1993 as Agricultural Engineer 1 in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, now Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. He worked extensively on the development, construction, and promotion of on-farm crop storage and processing structures for grains, fruits, vegetables, fish, and fish products between 1993 and 2008. Between 2008 and 2011, he worked in agro-processing and marketing department of the defunct National Food Reserve Agency, and later in the agribusiness and market development department of the then Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Dr. Marcus Ogumbi rose and attained the position of Director of Agricultural Engineering on 1st January 2018. He attained his Bachelor of Technology from University of Technology, Akure in 1988, He also obtained a master's degree in agricultural engineering from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife in 1992, a master's in agro-bioresources sciences and technology from the University of Tsukuba, Japan in 2011, and a PhD in crop storage and processing from the Federal University of Technology, Minna in 2019. Prior to his present position, Dr. Ogumbi successfully worked in various capacities and undertook many assignments during his career at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Prominent amongst them are the successful implementation of the NGN-UNDP project between 1993 to 1996, development of fish smoking and drying cabinet in 1996, the construction and promotion of different improved on-farm grain storage and fish smoking structures across the country, construction of smoking and drying technologies in 11 fishing communities across Lagos, Osun, and Niger states between 2000 and 2003. Dr. Ogumbi authored and published several scientific research papers in local and international journals, especially in rice production and processing. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers, and duly registered with COREN. He was appointed as Federal Permanent Secretary by President Muhammadu Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari, in June 2021, and deployed to the Career Management Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation. He served for 2.5 years as Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office, and successfully drove the implementation of 3 of the 6 pillars of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan between 2021 and 2025. He was redeployed to the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development in January 2024 as Pioneer Permanent Secretary and served for 12 months before being redeployed to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, where he's currently serving as the Permanent Secretary. He is happily married to Ruth Modupe Ogumbi and blessed with children. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I believe it's afternoon now, yes. My assignment here is very simple, but before I go into that, I want to appreciate the Abuja branch for this golden moment, and specifically choosing the topic that has to do with what we eat. Agriculture, whether we like it or not today, is the main thing, and it should be the focus of every concerned Nigeria, both in government and for those who are not in government. Because we just have to feed ourselves. No matter what we are doing without food, we are nowhere. They say no food, no nation, no future. I have a paper I'm to present, but because of this other assignment, I think we will share the soft copy of my own topic, which is supposed to be precision agriculture and smart farming. Well, I will share the soft copy with the Secretariat for those who have interest. The Permanent Secretary, like the President of Abuja branch has rightly said, until this morning when he called me, that is to anchor the book launch for the retiring head of service. Love to be here, but let the will of God prevail. I will start this paper by saying happy Molud Nobiu and happy holiday to each and every one of us here. And I'm glad to see the faces I'm looking at, especially our father in the profession, Professor S.Z. Abakar. Yeah, recognize her, especially. But let me go to the one written to me, which I don't have any authority to alter. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Engineer Dr. Taye is standing before you, but please don't mind the voice. Ogumbi is speaking with you. Thank you very much. The President and Commander-in-Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Al-Masri Al-Abiu, ably represented by our sister, our mother, and an engineer of repute, Engineer Valerie, The special guest of honor, I've mentioned your name earlier, our brother and an academia of repute, Professor S.Z. Abubakar, the chairman of the Nigerian Society of Abuja branch of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer A.S.Y. Kutigi, distinguished fellows, members of the Society of Engineers, members of the Nigerian Society of Abuja branch, distinguished professors and members of the academia, captains of industries, development partners, young engineers, innovators, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege to address the distinguished gathering on a subject that is not only central to Nigeria's development aspirations, but fundamental to our national survival and prosperity. Transforming agricultural value chains, technological integration in modern agriculture for national food security in Nigeria engineering, the path to zero hunger. I thank the leadership of the NSC Abuja branch for the invitation and, more importantly, for choosing a team that speaks directly to one of the Nigeria's most urgent national priorities. The choice of the word engineering in this team is particularly significant. Engineering resilience is no longer a professional aspiration. It is a national necessity for increased agricultural production and food security. Engineering is fundamentally about solving problems systematically. It is about understanding complex systems, designing solutions, optimizing resources, managing risk, improve efficiency, and translating knowledge into practical outcomes. These are precisely the challenges confronting Nigeria agricultural and food system today. Our challenge is therefore not simply to produce more food, it is to design and operate a food system that can reliably produce enough nutritious food, move its efficiency, process and preserve it, make it affordable, create value for farmers, generate employment, withstand climate and economic shocks, and ensure that no Nigeria is left behind. This is the essence of the transformation we seek. Food security is a national development, and security imperatives. Food security is much more than the availability of food. It encompasses availability, accessibility, affordability, utilization, and stability. A country may produce significant quantities of food and still experience food insecurity if farmers cannot access affordable input, production is constrained by poor soils, agricultural land is degraded, farmers lack access to finance, rural roads are inadequate, harvests are lost after production, storage facilities are insufficient, food processing capacity is weak, markets are poorly organized, food prices are volatile, farmers cannot obtain reliable market information, or vulnerable households cannot afford nutritious food. Therefore, the question before Nigeria is not simply how much food can we produce. The more fundamental question is how efficiently can we transform our national human, scientific, technological, and financial resources into a resilient food system capable of feeding our growing population sustainably. This is where agricultural value chains, transformation, and technological interpretation become indispensable. This much desired transformation requires engineering and engineering resilience. When we speak of mechanization to attain food security, we are also speaking about engineering. When we speak of irrigation, storage, processing, transportation, energy, and digital agriculture, we are speaking about engineering. We are speaking about our capacity to design, build, maintain, and scale these systems that allow Nigeria to feed herself and help feed the world. This is not just about conversation, it is about transformation. However, policy alone cannot deliver this transformation. Engineering must give policy its physical form. A policy can announce mechanization, promise irrigation, promote agro-processing, yes, but engineers are required to design the machine, make water reach the field, turn raw harvest into finished product, more income and more jobs. This is the bridge between ambition and delivery, and this is where the Nigerian Society of Engineers has a historic responsibility. Nigeria presents one of the Africa's most strategic investment food. Over 70 million hectares of agricultural land spanning agroecological zones from the Sahel to the rainforest bed, irrigation potentials exceeding 3.1 million hectares, and one of Africa's youngest workforce with more than 70% of our population below 35 years, combined with our strategic location and continental market access, Nigeria remains the natural gateway for engineering investment into Africa. But opportunity without infrastructure remains only a potential, and potential without technology does not feed nations. Therefore, we must build an engineering infrastructure that supports irrigation clusters, mechanization hubs, agro-processing centers, storage facilities, and rural enterprises. Our agricultural transformation must begin with our farmers, women, and youth. Our young people are increasingly entering agro-business and digital agriculture. They are not waiting for an invitation. They are already leading this transformation, from Samson Obole soilless farms to Femi Adekoya's drone-powered Flying Farmers Initiative. Our youth are not just as beneficiaries of tomorrow, they are co-architects of our present and builders of our shared future. We recognize the youth as one of our targets for policy direction. Our interventions are tailored towards their ambitions. The machine that we design must work for them. The irrigation system should be affordable and maintainable. The digital platform must be accessible. The processing equipment must respond to local realities, and the rural roads must connect our farmers to market. This is the practical meaning of inclusive engineering. One of the greatest constraints to Nigerian agriculture remains our mechanization deficit. Under the visionary leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the federal government is implementing one of the most ambitious agricultural mechanization programs on the continent through the procurement and deployment of 2,000 tractors and over 9,000 implements and assorted spare parts to expand mechanization, assess improved productivity, and reduce the burden of manual labor. This is not merely about putting more tractors and equipment on the Nigerian soil. It is about building a functioning mechanization ecosystem. Apparently, a tractor without implement is incomplete. A machine without spare part is vulnerable. An equipment without operators is underutilized. And a machinery without maintenance system cannot deliver sustainable value. Our journey to agro-food transformation is real. We are determined to engineering the pathway to zero hunger. In this regard, some strategic shifts are imperative. These include the following 10 self-explanatory transitions. 1. Sustenance to commercial agriculture. Our farmers must become competitive agropreneurs. From production to value creation, we must process, package, and market more of what we produce. Manual to mechanized agriculture. Technology must reduce drudgery and increase productivity. Generic to problem agriculture, to precision agriculture, our decision must increasingly be data-driven. Engineering interventions to integrated value chain, production, finance, logistics, processing, and market must work together. Next, reactive to anticipatory agriculture. Early warning system must help us anticipate drought, flood, pest, disease, and market disruptions. Analog to digital agriculture, our farmers must become part of a connected agricultural ecosystem. Public sector dominance to public-private partnership. We will scale enabling environment and crowd in private investment. Reduce depletion to sustainability. Soil, water, forest, and biodiversity must be treated as a productive asset. Measuring activities to measuring outcome. The ultimate indicator should be food availability and affordability. Farmers' incomes, productivity, post-harvest loss reduction, investment, job nutrition, and of course, resilience. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me turn to the first sub-team, infrastructure for food security. Food security is attainable. Food security is unattainable without infrastructure. We need irrigation system that reduce dependence on rainfall, processing, infrastructure close to production centers, and storage system that reduces post-harvest losses. We need reliable power for agricultural enterprises, rural roads that connect farms to market, and digital infrastructures that connect farmers to information and finance. Nowhere is this clearer than in the implementation of the Special Industrial Processing Zones, SAPZ, the program where all these priorities coverage. SAPZ brings agro-processing directly to where our farmers produce, turning raw harvest into finished value of the very soil that grows them. This flagship program is one of the largest in Africa. The ministry also prioritized the opening and construction of rural roads, rural market, aggregation centers, and other primary processing infrastructure in the production areas across the country. 83 kilometers and 86 kilometers of asphalt roads were constructed in 2024 and 2025 respectively in the production areas, while 14.1 kilometers and 42.8 kilometers of earth and surface dress roads were constructed during the same period, and 15 numbers and 54 numbers of rural market were also constructed during the period. These have significantly improved production and marketing of food produce in these areas. The second sub-team is precision agriculture and smart farming. Our farmers need more than a tractor. They need information on soil, weather, water, crops, and markets. Technology can help our farmers make better decisions. Precision agriculture should therefore not be viewed as technology for larger commercial farms alone. We must scale the technologies to the hands of our smallholder for a tech-driven agricultural economy. This is smart agriculture. Our major intervention of the ministry in this area in the Nigerian Farmer Soil Health Program, which as among its activities, the diagnosis of the health status of the farmland and application of the specific treatment required for the specific crops to be cultivated. There is an old saying, you cannot build a strong house on a weak foundation. The same principle applies to agriculture. Healthy soil is the foundation of food security. Nigeria's agricultural transformation must therefore begin from the soil. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is advancing the Nigerian Farmer Soil Health Scheme, including initiative to map soil degradation, expand soil testing, develop a soil information system capable of supporting location-specific soil management and fertilizer recommendations. This represents an important transition from applying fertilizer because the crop needs fertilizer to applying the right nutrient at the right rate, at the right place, and at the right time. That is essentially precision engineering applied to agriculture. This also applies to the effective use of agrochemicals on the soil. The ministry is also promoting the use of soilless technology and control atmosphere agriculture using greenhouses. Equally important is the third sub-theme, renewable energy in agri-processing. Energy does not merely illuminate communities, it illuminates opportunities. Modern agriculture requires reliable energy. Without energy, irrigation system cannot operate efficiently. Processing facilities cannot run consistently. Cold chains cannot function effectively, and agricultural machinery cannot deliver its full economic value. Agricultural processing zones should increasingly be designed around reliable and affordable energy systems. This is another area where engineers can make a transformation contribution. Nigeria must therefore make productive energy a central part of agricultural mechanization. Our abundant sunshine should not only nourish our crops, but should also power our machineries. These immortal words always find its living expression when solar energy turns our feed into green beds, and when we place sustainable energy in the hands of our farmers and processors, we place food on the tables of our nation, dignity in the life of our people, and hope in the future generations yet unborn. The ministry is promoting and encouraging the use of solar-powered water pump for irrigation purposes, and this is gaining acceptability in many states, especially of northern Nigeria. Our rural communities are also being powered with renewable energy. The ministry, through the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones project, recently collaborated with Rural Electricity Agency in extending renewable energy to our agro-industrial processing zones. The fourth sub-theme is climate smart engineering. Our climate change is changing the conditions under which agriculture operates. Our response must therefore be equally adaptive. We need irrigation system and machinery suited to changing production and storage conditions, resilient rural infrastructure and energy system that reduce vulnerability, technologies that protect soil and conserve resources. Climate smart engineering is not about doing less. It is about building systems that can withstand shocks and continue to deliver measurable value. This is the essence of resilience. We should all work together to scale the Nigerian agricultural transformation to be more resilient to one, drought, flooding, heat, changing rainfall patterns, emerging pests and diseases, land degradation. Climate smart agriculture will therefore focus on three objectives. One, increasing productivity, building resilience, reducing environmental impact where feasible. The Ministry Soil Health, Irrigation, Mechanization, Climate Resilient Production, and Post-Harvest Initiative will increasingly operate as one integrated resilience strategy. Agriculture cannot depend exclusively on rainfall in a country facing increasing climate variability. The chief future of Nigerian agriculture must therefore include water efficient and climate smart irrigation, water harvesting and storages, drought resistant and food resistant and seed varieties, climate smart agronomic practices, protected agriculture, weather forecasting, and climate information services. The engineering challenge is to develop water efficient agricultural system that maximize productivity while conserving scarce resources. We must increasingly adopt more crop per drop. Distinguished guests, fellow engineers, another strategic issue that deserves our collective attention is about strengthening the Nigerian agricultural and machinery manufacturing industries. Nigeria is set to move from importing agricultural machinery to building the capacity to manufacture and assemble them on its own soil. The federal government is therefore pursuing policy direction towards the establishment of agricultural machinery and equipment manufacturing and assembly plants in Nigeria. This is important for several reasons. While reducing import dependence and capital flight, it will create more jobs, develop technical skills, strengthen local supply chains, improve access to spare parts, and enable equipment to be designed around Nigerian peculiar environment. The recent unveiling of the National Agricultural Mechanization Policy and the National Agricultural Mechanization Investment Strategy is a testament to the federal government policy decision. This document provides a clearer national direction for agricultural mechanization. They signal that mechanization is no longer being approached as a series of isolated equipment distribution exercises. Our goal is to attain sustainable, accessible, appropriate, and commercially viable mechanization. We must ensure that machines are matched to our agroecological zones, commodities, soils, and farming system. We must also ensure that equipment is supporting throughout its life cycle. That requires engineers, manufacturers, financiers, researchers, operators, and more importantly, strong public sector standard and even oversight. To the engineers gathered here today, I have a simple message. Nigeria needs you now, more than ever. Our agricultural transformation cannot be imported. We can partner with the world, but we must build the capacity of our engineers to understand agriculture as well as its energy and digital system needs. We need engineers who can move an idea from the laboratory to the field to ensure that public investment deliver measurable values. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme before us is not merely about engineering resilience. It is about the resilience of Nigeria herself. A resilient and sovereign Nigeria is one that can produce and process what our people consume and turn agriculture into opportunity for millions of Nigerians. This is why the future of Nigerian agriculture must be engineered with science, technology, discipline, and innovation. When Nigeria can engineer what she needs to feed herself, she will not merely secure food, she will secure her future. In conclusion, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the journey to zero hunger is not simply an agricultural journey. It is an engineering journey, It is a journey of design, innovation, infrastructure, data science, entrepreneurship, institutional reform, and above all, it is a journey of national commitment. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is committed to playing a strategic role in the transformation through agricultural productivity program, mechanization, digital extension, soil health reforms, value chain development, agro-industrial processing, post-harvest system, farmer aggregation, market development, agricultural finance, climate-smart agriculture, research and innovation, and the development of a coherent long-term agri-food strategy. But the ministry cannot do this alone. The journey to zero hunger is a collaborative one. It requires a whole of government approach and a whole of society approach. Federal government must lead, state must participate, private sector must invest, research community must innovate, engineers must design, farmers must produce, financial institutions must finance, technology companies must digitize, and consumers must drive demand for safe, nutritious, and locally produced food. This collaboration, whole of government approach and whole of society approach for the much desired transformation present an extraordinary opportunity for the engineering profession. We as engineers are required and challenged to design affordable agricultural machinery, smart irrigation, renewable energy system, automated processing plant, cold chains, storage systems, rural infrastructure, drones, sensor network, digital platform, artificial intelligence system, agricultural robotics, waste-to-wet energy. But beyond technical design, we as engineers must become system thinkers and policy partners. We must ask, one, is the design technology affordable? Can farmers maintain it? Is it locally adaptable? Can it be scaled? Can it survive beyond the government project? Does it create economic value? Does it improve food security? Etc. The best engineering solution is not necessarily the most sophisticated. It is the one that works, is affordable, is maintainable, is scalable, and produces measurable impact. Our ambition must be larger than producing enough food to survive. We must build an agricultural system that fits Nigeria, employs Nigeria, industrialize Nigeria, and compete globally. We must move from farms to value chains, from value chains to industries, from industries to prosperity, and from food insecurity to food sovereignty. The ultimate destination is a Nigeria where no child goes to bed hungry, where farmers earn dignified incomes, where young people see agriculture as a modern profession, where technology makes farming more productive and less risky, where food is affordable and nutritious, and where agriculture becomes one of the strongest engines of national economic transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Nigeria we must engineer, and that is the path to zero hunger. May we as engineers continue to build resilience. May our innovations continue to transform nation food system, and may our collective effort deliver a food secure, prosperous, and sovereign Nigeria. Thank you for your attention. God bless the Nigerian Society of Engineers. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Please, can we have a better round of applause for him? So thank you very much, sir. That was indeed an insightful, thought-provoking, and highly relevant presentation. You have not only helped us appreciate the challenges confronting food security, you have also highlighted the enormous opportunities available to engineering and technology in transforming Nigeria's agricultural landscape. Please give him another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we all learned something new today. Did anyone learn something new today? That's the beauty of gatherings like this. The immediate past registrar of Korean will always say that when you come for a gathering like this, come with an open mind, ready to learn something new. So how many of you came here today expecting to hear something that will make you think differently? If you did, say aye. Well, I hope that our guest speaker exceeded the expectation. Did he? Thank you very much. And for all the engineers in the room, let me ask you one more question. If engineering is all about problem solving, how many engineers here are already mentally redesigning our agricultural systems as we speak? Thank you. I know the president of Korean already has that figured out. So thank you very much. Seriously though, that was a powerful reminder that the solutions to some of our biggest national challenges require innovation, collaboration, and importantly, the application of engineering expertise. Let's give our guest speaker once again a resounding applause. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking our next presentation from one of our guest speakers. He'll be speaking to us on the sub-theme Precision Agriculture and Smart Farming. With a resounding applause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me Engineer Frank Adole, Director of Federal Department of Rural Development, Federal Ministry of Agri and Food Security. Please give him a round of applause. So he's speaking to us about infrastructure for food security. Welcome him to the floor with a round of applause. Please do not sit again. Come forward. Thank you. The media, I believe that you have his slides ready. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure we're a bit tired. Do we do a bit of exercise? Huh? Most of us here are in the range of 40 and above. I think it makes sense for us to stretch a little. Why don't we stretch a little? Huh? Okay. All right. All right. The President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the special guests of honor and President of Korean, Chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, distinguished fellow members of NSE, distinguished professors, distinguished colleagues, guests from within and abroad, I want to welcome and thank all of you for being here on a day like this when we're actually on a public holiday. I think on my own self, I would like to congratulate the organizers of this program who've taken the time to ensure that it is not canceled. That is what I feared. And to thank all of you for the pains you've taken. I think it's part of the engineering resilience and commitment that we need to appreciate ourselves for. The topic of my discussion is infrastructure for food security. And I want to take my comment from number 27 of my permanent secretary's presentation, which is, number 38. when he said the ministry cannot do this alone. The journey to zero hunger is a collaborative one. It requires a whole of government approach and a whole of society approach. Federal government must lead, states must participate, private sector must invest, research community must innovate, engineers must design, farmers must produce, financial institutions must finance, technology companies must digitize, and consumers must drive demand for safe, nutritious, and locally produced food. I think, in my mind, that captures the essence of the topic that I'm to discuss. You recall that when Mr. President came on board, he declared a state of insecurity on food. Following that, there were programs and plans in the ministry. Why are we where we are now? I think I saw in the in our society logo, that NSC came on board in 1958. I think at that time, most of us here, if not all of us, had not yet been born. So I believe that great steps and strides have been made over time. We are not born today and at 0 point. Several achievements have been made in terms of infrastructure across the country, but the challenge is it is highly still insufficient based on our land size, based on our population, based on our ambitions. In Africa, we are claiming ourselves to be the food basket of the country, of Africa, largest in population, largest black population in the whole world. By 2030, we are projected to reach, I think, about 250 million, if not 240. So, where are we in terms of infrastructure in the country? The key challenges that we have in production is not land per se. It is not water. Nigeria is blessed with at least 2 big water bodies, the rivers Benue and Niger. It is not population insufficiency. It is one of those things that challenge our food security system is infrastructure. Now, Nigeria is, to a large extent, an agrarian economy. Agrarian because we have reports from the World Bank, National Bureau of Statistics tell us that between 70 to 80% of our population dwell in the rural areas, and most of them are farmers. These farmers need access to their farms. They need access. Water is available, they cannot harness because of being resource poor, generally. So as engineers, I think the challenge is for us, in line with what my permanent secretary just said, how do we, as engineers, move the water from the point where we need it in the farm? How do we create our access roads? Engineers design roads. A road, at least if it's asphaltic, that is about 1 kilometer now, I think it will range between maybe 500 million to about 1 billion, depending on who is designing and constructing. Now, at the rural access level, how do we ensure that the farmers in the village get access to their farms in good time? If not, production in the farms will largely waste. That is one of the reasons that we have so much wastage. It is told, we are told, that about 40 to 50% of agricultural products are wasted. Why? Because there are challenges after production in conveying, moving from the produce from the farm to the market, from the farm to the households. We also have challenges of infrastructure in terms of processing. Nigeria as a country, in the ministry, we have at least 33 silos, combined capacity of over 1.3 million metric tons. How many of them are functional? I know that about 17 of them are concession to the private sector. The financial strength of the private sector to manage some of these facilities, I think, have some challenge. But those of them that are being well managed, where do they have the financial wherewithal, even to buy what have been produced? And how much of the produce today are even commercial? Since independence in 1960, to date, we still see Nigeria as having a population that is purely rural in production. We have not really gone commercial. Commercial production of agriculture also demands a lot of money. So to my mind, in agricultural food sufficiency, the marriage between all these production parameters would depend, to a large extent, on the degree of infrastructure that we have and also the level of financial provision. So, food security, like we've been told now, depends on a large extent to 4 infrastructural pillars: availability, accessibility, affordability, stability, and utilization. If we can produce food, then the challenge today is to see how we can design systems that will not be handling our food production as just agricultural development projects. We should not be doing agricultural production as individualistic, but instead as a food system. From our institutions, to the farmers in the village, to engineers on their tables. What is the nature of the design we have today in agricultural production? Where are we exactly in terms of our production capacities? Nigeria needs several storage systems, not one generic model. The cereals that we produce, especially in the north, need drying systems, but much less compared to what we have in the southern environment. We know that because of the differences in our humidity patterns. We know that before you can effectively store any cereal crop, the moisture content values must not necessarily be above 12% on wet basis. But what we have, the dryers are not available. But as engineers, we have systems, we have knowledge to be able to do our engineering design that incorporates small household drying systems to accommodate the production systems that we have. Fruits and vegetables have about the largest water content. So they need in storage, we need Arctic environments. As engineers, we need to be able to design systems that will accommodate. That also goes for meat and poultry and also in fisheries. Now, where are we today in energy? The energy infrastructure we have now, I'm told that recently we even have, a migration of government in power usage, at maybe the powerhouse of the nation go into solar, which is good. But where are we? Nigeria has petroleum. Nigeria has enough land. Nigeria has enough personnel. Young population of about 35 years in age are there in the marketplace. A lot of them, graduates are there today who really have not much to do. Because in my mind, and to generality of what we see, we seem to have neglected the potential of the engineer. What we are taught in the university or in polytechnics, we seem to have really, to some degree, left it. You have engineers who sit in the offices or at home. Some are there riding motorcycles, riding keke. After 5 solid years of education in the university and 1 year extra of NYC, I'm sure that in critical thinking, this should pain you and myself. We have, in the processing and mechanization platform, we can operate a complete service platforms, service processing zones, processing principles, and service life cycles. Then, when we have these platforms, you discover that when roads are constructed, when machineries are supplied, irrigation structures and equipment are provided, what do we see often? Nonchalant behaviors from the people, government and other sectors envisaged and tried to influence providing these facilities. Why? Because we have not, as a people, seemed to inculcate into the general society the attitude of ownership of equipment, ownership of facilities. We tend to look at these structures as of government and not our own. And therefore, in the Federal Ministry of Agri, to be more precise, in the Federal Ministry of, in the Department of Rural Development, we have a division that annually, with every budget provision, we set up mobilization structures to visit communities, to talk with people about ownership of government items, especially newly constructed facilities. Now, infrastructure for food security, I coined it into 5 components: water, the access, that is in terms of the road, the processing centers, the energy required, packaging and storage. So, as engineers, each of these linkages, there is no link that an engineer cannot function in. If it is agriculture in the field, if it's agriculture in the field, that is from the beginning of production, which involves land clearing, the engineer is there. Cultivation, ridging, the engineer must be there. When you are done, what of application of fertilizers and pesticides? The engineer must be there. When it is dried in the farm, harvesting, the engineer must function there. Conveyance of the produce from the farm level to the household or the storage environment, the engineer must design systems. So that is essentially the challenge I think we have, that as engineers, so quickly, okay? Oh, she just, maybe you people overheard our discussion that I didn't know we are that timed. So I will go to the engineering agenda for zero hunger, and I'll read out a 10-point engineering agenda. Establishment of agricultural infrastructure corridors, rehabilitation of existing agricultural infrastructure, expansion of irrigation and water management. All connect to different levels of engineering. Connection of farms to the markets. Powering the agricultural value chains in their various forms. Building strategic silos and grain reserves and cold chains. Expansion of agricultural processing centers through clusterization. Establishment of mechanization service centers. Building the digital agricultural layer. Institutionalization of infrastructure and asset management. So, my call to engineers, we have sufficient land, sufficient population, sufficient water, sufficient farmers, entrepreneurs and engineers in the country to handle our food security production needs. And of course, we have a huge domestic market. So the challenge is how, as engineers, we can function in each of these value chains and connect them to one resilient food system. So, in my closing message, if we want to and desire to have to engineer the path to zero hunger, we as engineers in our various sub-engineering systems think critically to link the farm and the plate. Because when there is no or very low level of engineering infrastructure, it leads to low resilience in agriculture. And when there is no resilience in agriculture, sustainable food security is in jeopardy. And when there is no sustainable food security, the path to zero hunger, which goal 2 of the SDGs emphasizes so much, and which the labors of our fathers, the givers of, who gave us the foundation for this country, that we clamor for that their labor should not be in vain, will not have been recognized. Because a country that is not food secure is a poor country. Thank you very much.
Please give him a better round of applause. A country that is not food secure is indeed a poor country. We like to appreciate you, sir, for that very insightful and enlightening presentation. Can we give him once again a round of applause? Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall now hear from our esteemed special guest of honor. The presence of the leadership of the regulatory body for engineering practice in Nigeria further reinforces the importance of professional engineering collaboration in addressing national challenges. It is therefore my singular honor and privilege to welcome up to the fore none other than the President and Chairman of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar, a Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, a Fellow of the Academy of Engineering, and a Fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineers. Please welcome him with a round of applause. Please make it louder, make it better. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please permit me to respect the well-established protocol. Of course, my sister, the DP of NSC representing our president, the guest speaker, my very close friend right from school days and to practicing the FAMSEC. I wish he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I have keenly listened to the very rich research presentation of the PAMSEC, and I believe he has said a lot. For me, he has established a blueprint that what remains is for us to look at how do we actualize it. I have prepared something, but listening to him carefully, I said, no, I'm not going to go that direction. But let me analyze the presentation so I can put it in context and I can put it in perspective where we'll be able to take something back home that is more convincing. Basically, in our quest as a nation, I think it is well established that our entry points should be agricultural, just like developed economics did. You start from the green field, you go to the brown field, and then you go to the yellow fields, meaning you start with agricultural productivity, then you move into value addition and processing, manufacturing, and then you move into competitiveness globally, exportation and other things. This is the economic model that developed Europe, and that developed Americas, and that developed Asia. if you want to do it the other way, we're yet to see that model. If you want to ignore agriculture, you want to start from the manufacturing side, you will have to fall back. The green, the brown and yellow field will not sustain the green field, but it's the other way around. So you start moving your massive labor-intensive productivity, the green field, you start shrinking in that, you start pushing them into the manufacturing sector. When you perfect, you mechanize the green field, meaning all that the PAMSEC said is essentially the green field. And what the last speaker said is dovetailing into the brown field, the manufacturing perspective. Now, having said this, I would like us to now put it in Nigerian context. I have been an advocate of this for more than 2 decades within the system. The last week of the unveiling of the mechanization policy of the federal government, I had one-to-one discussion with the Honorable Minister later, the 2 ministers actually. Minister of State is my junior, while the main minister is a friend, a colleague. And I told them there are 3 issues that we must address, and I will say it here. The last, I think, item 34, 35, 36, which you read, encapsulate it, but I'll practicalize it. You see a very good policy packaging in Federal Ministry of Agriculture and now Food Security. And you see a similar isolated policy document in Ministry of Water Resources. You see another beautiful one that will intimidate you in Ministry of Industries and Investment. Another one in Innovation, Science and Technology. Let's start with these 4. We lack the ability to harmonize them, which is item 34, 35, 36. Agriculture cannot be done in isolation. Very excited, very well thought. It's a system. If you want to see the national sustained movement from the green field to the brown field to the yellow field, this policy have to be united, deliberately so. So this is what I call the horizontal harmony that is lacking, 1. Second, there's also the vertical harmony that is completely lacking. There was a paper I developed about the concurrent constitution and the, the inclusive and the concurrency of agriculture. Agriculture is one of the few domains in Nigeria, because of its central role, that has not been exclusive. It's concurrent, meaning federal government, state government, and local government. And if you check the schedules in our constitution, the majority role is not given to federal. The majority role is given to states and local government. For number 3 point that I will say. Because it's very simple. You check what is given to federal government is essentially research and development and this policy formulation and other things that has to do with finance and other things. But the real down-to-earth promotion of the green field is with the state and local government. The current situation we have, despite this excellent blueprint that we have, agriculture has been hijacked at the federal now. The states and the local government, in some instances, they will be invited to come and endorse. So federal government is one driving agriculture against the constitution of Nigeria and against the original concept of any developing nation. Federal government should not drive agriculture in doing terms. No. And that will lead me to item number 3. Why this cannot happen the way we want it, no matter how emotional we are, that because we have diverse ecologies. Federal government cannot prescribe agricultural intervention. It cannot. If it does, it will fail. But federal government should respond to interventions that are bottom oriented. We have our, what you call, comparative and competitive advantage. You can go state by state. You can even go local government by local government. But most practically, you can go region by region, our 6 geopolitical regions. Every region has its potentials and very empirical comparative advantage in agriculture. So decentralize these policies and see how the bottom. And this thing that we are advocating now was what we had before, was what made us successful before. The competitiveness that we have over different regions, the cash crop and the food crops, there were policies. All this we are saying, the value chain that we're talking of the last 10, 15 years, the value chains were practicalized in the 60s. Practicalized. You take cocoa right from the seedling, you go to the Cadbury in Nigeria, they are there, the industry, everything is there. You take granite from the farm in Katsina, you go to the oil mills, everything is there. Practically, you get cotton, you take oil farm, you take rubber. We have all the tire companies. Everything was there, practically, because agriculture was bottom up. The central respond with specific interventions that every region is bringing with their competitive and comparative advantage. How many engineers do we have then in the 60s, 70s? How many graduates, even HND holders, do we have then? Very few. But because of what Marcos said in his paper and what you said, we are focusing at the outcome. We are not too busy with the activities. Why is the outcome? Nigeria, I'm sure you know, in our history, we are second to China in granite and cotton production. In the whole world, we are third and second, consistently. In rubber, we are first. Oil palm, we are first. 6 export commodities that we had, we are competitively globally. Everybody recognized Nigeria with that. With the very low educated people we had. Because we were doing that in that wise. Bottom up. Not prescription from the top. All this that have been said are laudable, excellent. The roles of engineers are there, very well articulated, fine. But until we sit down and accept the Constitution has defined exactly how we should run agriculture, it's concurrent. The leading role are supposed to be the local government, because that's why you're going to have the cottage industries, the rural economy, all those small clusters they are saying, all those things you are saying, clusters on Nigeria, in Africa. I thought you would say it, but I didn't hear you say it. We have the highest density of dams per unit area in the whole of Africa. What does that mean? The number of dams that we have in Nigeria, no African nation has them. Dams. And these were not naturally there. Our leaders deliberately sat down and designed them and constructed them, because they understood our population growth. They understood that rainfall would not satisfy us as far back as 1960s, 70s. Our challenge here now is a lot of those dams. We have over 100 dams of different capacities. Over 80% of them are underutilized. Our challenge now is how to use them. And we're even failing in that. We allow them to silt. Every year you get a lot of capital projects for their whatever you want to call it in the relevant ministries. But we know we are not using them. We allow the water to collect, and during the dry season it will evaporate and what have you. That is our new reality. The largest irrigation scheme we have in this country, I don't know whether some of you know it, it's called SKIP, Southern Chad Irrigation Projects. That was the irrigation project that was designed to link up with Chad Basin. If you go to that area now, Baga area, I was a young engineer then. We have a barrage that intercepts the Chad Basin water. But now, the Chad has dried up. You go, you see as a ghost. It is over 2-3 million hectares. When you look at the land, it connects with the sky, horizon, flat land. And you don't need fertilizer in that place. Because it's a unique soil in the whole of Africa. We call it batty soil. All you need is rain, water, whether by rain or by irrigation, and it will germinate. You plant and you don't fertilize. Very dark, very fertile. Start from part of Yobe up to Chad. That place will feed not only Africa, the whole of West Africa. And they have designed it, and it is there. We lost it. Now, why I'm bringing this? When you begin to go back and identify what we had, I was a young engineer when we had what you call LIBCs. LIBCs, Livestock Improvement Centers, in the 80s. They were established early 70s. These are where you have livestock breeding centers. The best breed you can get anywhere in the world, you see them in Nigeria, all over the country. Well specialized livestock, goat, cattle, sheep, camel, everything. It's a research center that had artificial insemination and that are doing these kind of things with, I'll just give you one example so that you understand. I don't know, some of us, when you go along the rail lines, those of us that enjoy the rail line in Nigeria, some of us did, we know them. Along the rail line, there is what you call the dips, meaning you find a pond, you see water. Animals were compelled to enter the water and go on the cattle route when they are moving from north to south. I don't know whether some of you, the elder ones, will remember. Now, our leaders then, when they see a cow, beyond the meat and the bones, they look at the cow as a commodity of exportation. The hide and skin. And there is a disease called the tick that destroys the value of the skin. They will bring all the chemicals from anywhere in the world. And all the cows that are transducing, that are moving across the country, must enter that deep to cure the tick of the skin, because hide and skin is one of our export commodities. And we are number 4 in this world then. Up to today, the best leather that is most expensive, that is always struggled by the Italians, is still what they call the red goats. It's still in Nigeria and Niger. The best leather in the whole world is still our own material between Nigeria and Niger. Those tall goats, very tall, slim, that is the best leather in the whole world. Now, we have all this. Why I'm bringing this is to be able to say that this package that we saw, or that we had, That's why I said Marcos had done excellently well. But we must go back and repackage it. I have been privileged to be part of the group that developed what you call the comparative potentials of each and every region. Because if you want to do agriculture, you must go back and agree on two things. What are the export commodities you want to champion? And what are the food commodities you must address for food security of the nation? The two must go pari passu. And in each region, or if I can reduce it now to in each state, we have the priorities. I'll give you a simple example. Later, my sister, I wound up. If you take maize, no state in Nigeria will compete with Kaduna State in maize production. Everything about maize. And no state in Nigeria will compete with Kaduna in ginger production. So maize and ginger production, we should prioritize. Kaduna will produce the maize Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria needs and exports. Same thing with ginger. You want to go to sesame, the best state that can produce sesame is Jigawa State. Nobody will compete with Jigawa on that. All this, we have done that. So when you want to do what we have had in this lecture, you don't allow Federal Minister of Agriculture to go into the TV or to go to any state and say you want to do campaign and you prescribe. All of you should go this way. You don't do that. It will not work. You have so many commodities. Fishery, livestock, small ruminant, large ruminant, and what have you, even the grains and what have you, the tubers. Do the mapping. And let each and every state have priorities. Cash crop, that's export crops, or commodities, let me not be saying crop, commodities, and food commodities. These are the two things. And then we package it following all these things that we have had. Engineers can come. The value chains are there. The infrastructures are there. All those 10 points you said, what the one Marco said, all of them are there. But if we want to go generic, we want to be doing everything, it will not work. We will do a lot of things. Anyway, I was so elated when I read in one of the points there by Marcos. And that has been one of our last debates with the Minister of Agriculture, personally with me. Many of our states, governors will go and massively import what they call agricultural machineries. They'll go and evacuate a whole factory in China or in Brazil or anywhere. You just carry our money, go and bring it there and come and dump it there. All they are interested is to do the commissioning, the TV and what have you. That's not how to do mechanization. That's not how to develop agriculture. All you have done is that you have carelessly, stupidly taken your money and go and give those people. And those things, I'm sure if somebody go to Sheda today, there are some manually pushing tractors that were imported during Buhari. They are still there in Sheda. Still there in Sheda. The guys that produce it, they are excited. They have already made their profit. They have already improved. They have gone far. They are moving forward. And I said, the tractor that I won't mention the states, I saw massive display of agricultural equipment. And the minister was very excited and he called me. We sat down. I said, well, that's nonsense. He said, how can you say that? I said, good. Sit down. Let me explain to you. Those tractors that they imported, in that whole state, they don't need the capacity of such tractors because of the soil does not require those tractors. So it's a mismatch. One of those tractors can buy you 5 or 10 of the ones that are appropriate for that place. It's just marketing they have done for you guys. You just go and take our money and then just bring big tractors. Because the state is essentially sandy soil. How will you go and bring tractors that should go to Anambra and that should go to down, the deep south, deep rainforest? You go and carry big tractors with very high capacity into sandy soil place, and you say you are doing mechanization? And I told the minister, where is our agency that is supposed to test and regulate the importation of agricultural machineries? That agency is income, and it's under your watch, minister. And you didn't involve them. You didn't give them that capacity in terms of. Now I'm coming back to Koren. I've spoken as SZ, that's my area. Now I'm back to Koren. Issue of regulation and enforcement. We must get these things also right. The chairperson of this sitting is telling me to put a break. This is a subject in my PhD class, which I teach my students. So I thank the organizers, and I believe this is the way to go. Very rich submission, very thought-provoking. But the concepts, we have to get it right. We must get the concept right so that we'll be able to, see a drastic change, impactful changes in what we are trying to do. I thank you very much for the audience.
Can we hear a better round of applause for the President of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria? That's someone who's very passionate about his profession. And the President will tell you that he's a lecturer. Give him the next 5 hours, he won't be tired. Thank you for allowing us to tap very little from your wealth of knowledge. Let's appreciate him once again. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the journey towards national food security cannot be undertaken by one institution, one profession, or one sector alone. It requires collaboration among governments, engineers, farmers, researchers, industry, academia, technology providers, and other critical stakeholders. We'll therefore proceed to receive goodwill messages from some of our distinguished guests and stakeholders here present. I beg everyone I'll be calling up for a goodwill message. I'm not going to go down. I'm going to stand right here. You have just 1 minute. I beg you, once you mount the microphone, your time begins to count. And so to give us our first goodwill message this afternoon with a resounding applause, help me welcome to the fore Engineer Felix Mwakwo, FNSC. Can we keep clapping until he comes here? Thank you, sir, and your time starts now.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm standing on existing protocol. The President, able represented by the DP, the current President, and all distinguished guests. I want to thank the Chairman of Abuja branch and all of us for this wonderful location and this wonderful speech and this wonderful presentation. We thank the Permanent Secretary for doing a good job. We also thank our professor for going the other way and telling us more about the implementation aspects. We've learned something today, and we are very grateful. Abuja branch, we are grateful for what you've done. My only idea is that all those things are very good, even in implementation, but nobody has talked about security. The farmers are running away from their farm. That's where the problem is in this country. It's not that we are not producing, no. We don't want to tell ourselves the basic truth. People are killing the farmers. The farmers are running away. There's no farm product. Is anybody telling me mechanized and any other thing without identifying the real cause and solving that problem of herders and Fulani conflict and all the killing? We are not being honest with ourselves. We have to face reality. The time of grazing is long gone. It's not done in any other country. Go to Netherlands. Netherlands is feeding the whole world with livestock. And there are means of doing livestock farming. People say Nigerian livestock is very, very, the most beautiful one you eat outside. I don't accept that. It should not lead to killing. We should go mechanize on livestock. We can't be carrying cows and everywhere, walking around the whole street, damaging people's farm, and then claiming their land and killing them. We need to refocus our aspect. It's not only engineering. Engineering should be able to find solution of how to solve this conflict so that we can have peace and go back to our production and have enough goods, enough foodstuff. We have enough land to feed this nation. Our major problem is insecurity. No other thing. I believe we all know what we're supposed to do. Let government solve the insecurity for us and everything can be solved. Thank you very much.
Please appreciate him once again. That's a good start to the goodwill messages. So he kept by his 1 minute. Next up from the Landing Professionals Nigeria Limited, join me in welcoming Mr. Zifeng Wu. Welcome him with a round of applause. And your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it's very nice to meet you here. And for me, it's a great honor to speak here. I think it's a very important opportunity to introduce myself, and my firm. And first of all, I want to say myself. My name is Wu, W-U. Okay, it's my first name Chinese. And you can also call me Louis, because I have French name, Louis, because I can speak French. And for me, I think I have a lot of connections with Africa and with engineers, because when I graduated from school, I started work in Africa, in the Republic of Congo, in the construction company. It's an engineering construction company. It's called CSEC, China State Construction Engineering Corporation. It's, I think it's the #1 in China in the area of construction. And this is why I said I'm very connected with Africa. And I'm also very connected with engineers, because, you know, in my family, there's a lot of engineers. My wife is an engineer, and my parents are engineers. So, so I like engineering, and this is something about me. And about my firm, I want to say that now I'm a lawyer. And in China, I'm a lawyer for more than 10 years. And my practice area is about the construction dispute. And so in China, you know, I have handled more than 100 of legal cases about construction dispute. So I think I know very well about the construction market in China. And also, I know a lot of these things about Africa, because I think China, we have, you know, we have built more than 30 years. So, so I think in the future, maybe Nigeria, your country, will be next to China, because we have already. Thank you. You know, in the last 30 years, we built a lot of highways, airports, railways, and maybe ports and subways. For now, I think we have already built. So the potential in the future is not is very limited. But your country is different. I think you are just at the beginning of a very quick development. So maybe I think in the next 20 or 30 years, your country, Nigeria, is a very good development country and development market. And all of you, as engineers, you will be more and more important in the development of the country. And thank you. And maybe you will ask why I'm in Nigeria. because I've seen the potential. Okay, and I think because more and more Chinese construction companies coming to Nigeria, they are here to do some project of construction, and they also need to cooperate with local firms and local engineers. And for this, maybe for them, there will be some challenge to how to communicate, how to handle the legal issues, okay, with Nigerian companies and Nigerian engineers. And this is our goals, because we want to act as the bridge, okay, between the Chinese company and the Chinese technical and the Chinese engineers with local firms, with the Nigeria firms, Nigerian engineers. And anyway, I have confidence about the future of your country, and I have confidence about the future of our cooperation. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you applaud him once again? So anyone wondering why I had to extend grace to him? He's been here since 10 a.m. and he's waited till now. And so I had to give him the time, to speak. So give him a round of applause once again. Thank you very much. So the grace stops with him. Next up, I'd like to welcome to the floor Dr. Kanti Uthman, CEO, Cantilevers Realty Nigeria Limited. Please give him a round of applause as he comes forward. Can we appreciate him? The better you cheer him, the quicker he comes up. And your time starts. Thank you.
All my bosses here, my brother, and all the invited guests. 1 minute is too small for me as a lecturer, but I will manage. I think when you find yourself among the intelligentials, you will find your life shriven to know what to talk. Everything beautiful has been said here. And I want each and every one of you to know that Nigeria has all the best products. The best result. If you travel out, you see our infrastructures, our human capital development, our institution, everything is here. Why are we not leading? When we talk about Giant of Africa, what about the world? What number are we in Nigeria? Where do we get it wrong? The current boss has just said it. Everything you need to develop a country is already here. What is happening? Why don't we think about human capital development? Why don't you think about engineers taking over politics so that the policies will be implemented? When you work as an architect for 30 years, I've worked under FCDA, Army, and all the problem I have is who control the policy, not the ideas. You can have ideas. You can have 100 professors. If you are not the one in charge, one keke napep person will change the policy. Why don't you join politics? Why don't you command entrepreneurship? Kudos to my Igbo friends here. This man is from China. Go and read about them. 18 years, they take the lead. Not with gun, not with speeches, silent. Moving from grass to grace. What did it is entrepreneurship. If you can produce keke napep and you're not producing it, who will buy it? How will you make money? Engineers, organize sessions like this about entrepreneurship so that people can talk like 1 hour. Please tell our president, let him do that. In school, we did not undergo any training on entrepreneurship. When I came to Abuja, yeah, it was bushy. I never knew as an architect I can become a developer until 26 years after. What a mistake. That time, all the green lands had been taken over by people that are doing businesses, not architects. When I submitted my first project at development control, I asked my engineer, 1 hour to pass me down. Okay, your design is okay. Because I designed something that is not common within them. As an architect, I challenged myself, I challenged the society we are, I challenged the government and the policies, and I implemented the design. And today, I stand before you as a developer. All of you can do that. Every engineering has environmental colleagues, land surveyor, architects, civil engineers. What are we waiting for? What somebody can pay millions to do, you can pay hundreds of thousands to do it. What are you still waiting for? Businessmen are spoiling this country in the name of money. And every day we keep on complaining that we want to school. School cannot do it. Mindset do it. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Uthman, for that goodwill message. Give him once again a round of applause. Next up for our goodwill message, join me in welcoming Engineer Dr. Yetunde Alade Tang FNSC. A round of applause for her as she comes forward. The better you cheer her, the quicker she comes up. We await you, ma'am. Your time will soon begin to tick. Engineer Yetunde, please. Kindly encourage her as she comes forward. Thank you.
Wow, this is the second time this is happening to me. I didn't plan on giving any goodwill message. The chairman of the occasion, the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Ali Masuri Arabiu, ably represented by our dear Deputy President, Engineer Valerie Ifweko Agbireba. A very good morning to you all. My distinguished colleagues, kindly permit me to align with the very well established protocol. I just want to use the opportunity to congratulate the NSC Abuja branch on this milestone. I think this should be the end of an era, and another one is continuing. Congratulations to the chairman, Engineer Kutigi, and all the executive committee members, and I wish you all greater heights in all that you do. I'm happy to be a member of this branch. At least I served as the first female secretary of this branch, and I'm very happy. I think NSE Abuja taught me the ways of NSE. I think that was my main service to the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and I'm ever grateful for that opportunity. And I welcome everyone that has been able to make time here. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Can you give a better round of applause? Thank you. And lastly, I would like to invite up to the fore Hajara Abdelkadri, the National Vice Chairman of FUT Mina Alumni Association. Please welcome her with a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Your 1 minute starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. The President, represented by our branch chairman and every other person. I would like to stand on the well-established protocol. Just like her, she was ambushed. I was not ready for this, but with the topic, I think I'm very grateful and appreciate the transformation of food security. Yes, in this country, food security is very good. The topic was well spoken about. Everybody did their bits, but I would like to really align with our able prof here that talks about no security without, the food cannot be there when we don't have security. And security is something all of us are really challenged, because I come from a very remote area, very far away in Kogi State, that you need to even go by boats to the place. And the security systems there, we cannot mention how we're really battling with it, calling the state governor every day, the chairman, everybody. So I understand where you're coming from, sir, and I hope we'll be able to do it as a nation, as a body, and come together to find out how to really make this better, how to get the farmers back to the farms. Yes, we have the tractors, the everything, but we need the people there working to be able to have enough food security. So I appreciate that. And secondly, I will align with the fact that our president too also spoke of regional production. Every state has something he's good with. My people are known for fishing. They fish properly and very well, bring out enough beautiful fishes from the free. Well, but all those fishes have gone because of climate change and a lot of other things. But I believe with this topic, it creates an open, broader idea on how today. I have learned a lot today from it, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Engineer Kutigi, and every other person. Thank God for your days as NSC chairman. At least we're a party of it. We saw it when it began, and you are seeing it to come to an end. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Please give her a better round of applause. And now a round of applause for everyone who gave a goodwill message. Let's appreciate them. Thank you. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, knowledge shared is knowledge multiplied. And the NSC Abuja branch is delighted to recognize and appreciate everyone who has shared their wealth of knowledge, experience, and insights with us today. And so to make a few presentations, it is my singular honor and privilege to welcome none other than the chairman of the NSC Abuja branch, Engineer Ahmed A.S.Y. Kutkidi, FNSC, who is going to anchor this session for us. So please, Mr. Chairman, the stage is yours. I think we can applaud him if we're not tired. We'll be leaving here very shortly. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. May I quickly invite the Deputy President to the stage. The current President should also follow up, please, sir. Our first presentation is to the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is ably represented by the Deputy President. So since the President of Koren is here, so even if we did not say, okay, I have limitation here. So, yes, sir. Let me join the photo. While the President of Korea is standing, then let them switch over. So we also do for the President of Korea. And let me say one thing today. In my 2 years in the office, when I met the President, immediately after election, I went back. I said, okay, you know, say now I don't join NSC politics. He said, yes, I'm waiting for you to come. But since you are here now, anything you want me to do for you, let me know on time. And he said one thing, that if you know you are going to be outside Abuja for 2 days, let me know. So you can say, I have 2 days to do my running around. But if you are going to be outside, that will take you 2 days, you are not in Abuja, let me know. It's not everybody can give you that such a privilege. So, sir, thank you very much. And yes, we are praying for many, many things to come. Inshallah, God will do it in your life and in ours. Thank you, sir. Let me join. Thank you. No, ma, you still have few to do. For the permanent secretary, please, sir, you can come over. Actually, we're supposed to have the permanent secretary and all the other sub-themes to be handled by various speakers. So since already we have produced the plaques, and they are here, we still appreciate that. This is for the PAM segment. Okay, let me join. This is also yours.
Yes. We would like to appreciate you for being considerate. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? He was supposed to also be a presenter, but since he was taking the one for the PAMSEC, he said he would send his own presentation. That is actually being considerate. Can we give it?
Thank you. Let him take for. Okay, no, sir, come. Let him take for the remaining people that are not here.
I would like to.
No, before his own, he don't need to go and sit. Sir,
I've given him his own now.
Okay, there are other two people. Okay. Yes. Okay,
I'd
sir.
like to invite Engineer Felix to help present the other one. Please come
Okay.
up and
Please.
join me up here to present the other one.
Yes.
So engineer,
Please, sir.
sorry, Mr. Are you an engineer? You said engineer. I thought you were an engineer.
He
You're an
is.
engineer.
That
So
was
why
the
don't we
name
have it?
we had. So.
Registered with current.
Yes.
It's an error. Maybe you like writing your name as
No,
Frank
it's
Haji.
not him. That was how they sent the name to us.
Oh, okay, from the
Yes,
office.
yes.
Okay. So, Engineer Felix, please come and present this on our behalf.
On behalf of our president and the Nigerian Society of Engineers and chairman of our branch, I present this as a token of our appreciation for a good speech. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Can we? We are good. Since you are not here, we can send it. Okay. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate.
So thank you very much, Engineer ASY Kutigi, for anchoring that session of the program. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of this opening ceremony, it is important to acknowledge the collective effort, support, and commitment that have made today's event possible. And to formally express our appreciation, I'm pleased to invite to the fore the chairman of the planning committee, Engineer Oliver USA FNSE, to give us the vote of thanks. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you. Please, can we clap for ourselves, please? We can do it better. We are clapping for ourselves for so many reasons. The people seated here are those that were able to make the sacrifices to drive out of their houses on a public holiday that ordinarily you should be resting. And so your presence here is enough for us to show you a whole lot of appreciation. Please clap for yourselves again. So let me use this opportunity to very specially appreciate the branch chairman, Engineer Ahmed ASY Kutigi, FNSC, who found us worthy to come together as a committee to plan this event. Mr. Chairman, we are very, very happy, and we appreciate that you could have this level of confidence in us. My committee members, please, wherever you are, you can do well to join me on the stage. Engineer Gunat, Ms. Tura, Kennedy, if you are a member of the planning committee, please come up stage. We want to very specially thank everyone who has contributed in one way or the other to see that this event that is coming to an end successfully was indeed a success. To the President of the Nigeria Society of Engineers, ably represented by one of our own, the Deputy President, Engineer Valerie Ifeko Agberagba, FNSC, we appreciate your presence. Your presence has given us a lot of morale to drive the activities of this day. We want to very specially thank all our supporters, our sponsors, those that contributed to this event in one way or the other, the photographers, the MC, Faith, everyone in this hall, Stephen, Ishaya. There are so many people, Madam Yetunde, everybody, make way media, we appreciate everyone. We thank you so very much. The distinguished members of FNSC Abuja branch, all the engineers in the room, your presence means a whole lot, and we are very happy with this. Yesterday at the cocktail party, you still did well to turn up. Today, the second event is a few hours away, and so from here, we'll be expected to march on straight to the stadium. This year's engineering week, like I did say yesterday, is designed in such a way that every day we have 2 events. Yesterday we visited the orphanage and the IDP in the morning, or rather in the afternoon, and then in the evening we had the cocktail party. Today we have had this one now, In the evening, we are going to the stadium to play a match. Tomorrow, we will have our AGM at the branch secretariat, and then in the evening, we will come back here for our dinner and award night. So if you were there yesterday and you are here today, please, you are the most valuable player. If you are here today, we expect you to be available tomorrow so that we can beat our chest and say that indeed you participated in all the activities of the 2026 Engineering Week and Annual General Meeting of NSE Abuja branch. Once again, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and once again, thank you. And to this lady and gentlemen here, we need to clap for them very specially. So many times they kept sleepless nights. I will wake up and tell them that we have a meeting by 9 p.m. and we continue to do virtual meeting even into the night. They made that sacrifices. Every now and then we'll call them, Ms. Tora, please run to so place. She will go there just to make sure that the event we are seeing here, succeeds. All of them here has given in so much to see that we enjoy what we are enjoying today. So once again, please clap for them. As we come to a close, so you can go have your seats. As we come to a close, please know that the Nigeria Society of Engineers Abuja branch appreciate you so much. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you participate in all our subsequent activities. Because of course, this society is ours to build. This profession is ours to develop, to promote, and to grow. And I believe that with the faces I see here, we will be able to do that. Thank you very much.
Can we applaud the chairman of the planning committee once again, Engineer Oliver, for the incredible job that he has done. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this formal session, may we once again reaffirm our commitment to our dear nation. May I kindly request that we all rise for the national pledge. The national pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Thank you, everyone. Please remain standing for official photographs. Don't leave yet. We'll be having official photographs, so I'd like to request that all of our dignitaries and invited guests wait behind. The photographer is going to coordinate us on how we are supposed to take the photographs. So once again, on behalf of the NSE Abuja branch, I thank everyone for taking time to be here and for staying till the end. We congratulate Engineer ASY Kutigi FNSE and his EXCO members for the successful completion of their tenure. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and have a good afternoon.